Okay, so a couple things I want you to get started with is basic hand hooping. Okay, I know you said that you could do this, but I really want you to focus on this and some other variations of this to kind of get you moving and getting used to how the hula hoop spins in general. Okay, so to get started, to just break this down a little bit, you want to make sure that you're holding your hula hoop with your palm facing up. You want to give yourself a nice, clean, strong movement forward. Now, what's going to happen is you're going to turn and flip your wrist. Once your palm is facing down, I want you to let go of that hula hoop. Okay, that's going to, the gravity is going to give you your momentum to keep that hoop up. So just start this practice a little bit to get comfortable with this movement, okay? Now, once you're used to this movement and it's not a challenge for you, you can move on to continuously spinning the hula hoop. Now, as you do this, and to do this, you want to kind of act like you're shaking someone's hand. It's a push up and a push down. That momentum is really going to carry that hula hoop up for you. Some things that you want to keep in mind is you want your hand to be nice and strong. So you want nice strong arms, nice strong shoulders, and you want to make sure that your hula hoop is out in front of your body. So I'm going to turn this way so you can see that the hula hoop is nice and flat. If you have your hand, pivoted any direction, wherever your palm is facing, that's where that hula hoop is going to spin. So you want to make sure that it's nice and flat and square. You also want to make sure that your thumb is up and activated. If you lose your thumb, you will lose control of that hula hoop, okay? So you want to make sure that you keep your hula hoop in the palm of your hand by keeping that thumb there, okay? So as you're doing this, I want you to practice stalling that hula hoop. So what that means is as it's spinning, once that hula hoop crosses your palm, grab it, okay? You might notice that you're a little wonky when you do this, okay? You're gonna kind of follow the momentum of the hula hoop. It's important that you stay nice and strong, okay? This is gonna help your shoulders, gonna help your arms and your wrist and your hand. So it's a really nice movement to kind of get used to and practice, okay? So whatever you do on one side, I want you to make sure you do it on the other side. So you wanna start this hoop spin like this in your non-dominant hand as well, okay? And then go into up and down, continually moving it in your left hand or non-dominant hand, and then also stopping that hula hoop, okay? So you wanna make sure that you can do that on both sides, okay? The next thing that you wanna do is you wanna get into moving that hula hoop and putting both hands into the hula hoop in a prayer position, okay? So how you're gonna wanna do this is, as that hula hoop is spinning across your hand, you'll notice that when it moves across the back of your hand, your palm is open. So whenever your palm is open, you wanna try and put your other hand against your first hand. That way you have two hands spinning in the hula hoop, okay? It's gonna take a little bit of time to get used to the timing of this, so just count 1, 2, 3, and put that palm in. Give yourself some practice doing it this way, then switch hands and give yourself some practice doing it the other way, okay? So this is gonna give you some on-body, or off-body rather, movements that you can do. Now, another thing that you can get into is your weave, okay? So you wanna start with the hula hoop on the side of your body with your palm facing up. Now you're gonna lead with your thumb, which means you're gonna bring that hula hoop all the way forward. You're gonna cross it in front of your body. You're gonna bring it back and up and around. So it's a figure 8 movement. It helps if you keep a nice light grip on that hula hoop. You can also, if you're comfortable with this, just practice it. Make sure that you're fluid, that you're clearing the space. If you notice that you're hitting yourself, or if you're having any issues doing this, it may be because you're not giving yourself enough room. So kind of expand your arm a little bit. That should help. You also can then go into a forward handspin as well. You can practice also the back handspin. All of these things are really great fundamentals. You can do it again on your left. Anything you do on your right, you want to make sure you're doing it on your left as well. So that's some basic hand, vertical hand hooping movements that you can play with. Some other things that you can do, it includes the lasso, which this is above your head. So you want to make sure that as you start, you want to put your hoop behind your body with your palm facing up. You want to grab a hold of that hoop. You don't want it to be too tight of a grip, but you want to hold on to it, and you want to give it a nice whip as if you were to lasso something. You want to give yourself that nice pull. That momentum will keep that hula hoop spinning around your hand just like it was in front of your body. Another thing you want to keep in mind is that thumb. Keep that thumb nice, strong, and activated, because if you lose your thumb, you're going to lose that hula hoop down your arm and you'll end up hitting yourself. So don't do that. Try and be aware of that. You want to try that in both hands as well. So start up here and give yourself a nice. So just practice this stuff. Kind of at least get you moving with your hula hoop. So I also want to address some issues that you might be having while you're waist hooping. Okay. So it's important that you continue to practice this, but if you get stuck, don't let it discourage you from trying other things. That's why I want to give you some of those on or off body movements. Okay, so as you're hula hooping, it is important for a couple things. First, make sure that your clothing is not going to be in the way of the hula hoop. So you don't want anything too loose, too baggy. You don't want any strings hanging. If you are in a very beginner, you want to make sure, sometimes even zippers cause issues. So make sure it's a cotton fabric. Make sure it's form fitting, or at least not too loose. So you want to make sure that you solve that problem first. Now, a couple options that you have is you got to choose your stance. Okay. So for me, I naturally hula hoop with my feet side to side. And the movement is not around in a circle, it's a back and forth, okay? And sometimes when you're beginning, you want to make sure that you're exaggerating this movement. So I hula hoop side to side, but you can try and position yourself so that one foot is in front of the other and you're pushing forward and back from the belly button, okay? This sometimes is easier for people to do. Another stance that you can do is giving yourself a nice wide stance by bringing your hoop, instead of your foot to your side or in front of you, you're bringing it out to a diagonal. You're creating a nice strong stance, and then you're pushing again from your belly button. Okay, so this might be easier for you. Try out all of those options: side to side, front to back, or off to a diagonal. Okay, so you want to make sure that you whatever feels comfortable, try them all. Some of them might come easier to you than others. Okay, so what you want to do first, the very first thing that you want to do is just spin that hula hoop. Do not try and keep that hula hoop up. Now, a couple of things. This first push on the hula hoop is the most important push that you're going to have. So you want to make sure that your hula hoop is nice and level to the ground. Your placement, okay? Ideally, you want it to be at the small of your back. Kind of like right here. But sometimes if you want to bring it up a little bit to give you a little bit more time, you absolutely can do that. Okay. So as you do this, you want to make sure that you're not spinning the hula hoop too fast or too slow. You'll notice if you spin that hula hoop too fast, that hoop really whips around your body. Okay. If you push the hula hoop too slow, you're going to notice that you're giving yourself that it's too slow. So you want to just give yourself a nice strong push across your body. And how you do that is I always take my dominant hand, which is my right hand, and I push it to my belly button. Okay. But everyone's dominant current is different. So sometimes you want to take, the option and just give the hoop, before you even try and keep it up, just give it a nice toss around your body. If you know that first push is a good push if your hoop spins around your body 3 to 4 times. Okay, so that's ideal. You want to make sure that you can do that. If your hoop is going straight to the ground, you're pushing it in a direction that your first push is not a good push, okay? So make sure that you're focusing on that, okay? Again, before we get any further and we're actually trying to hula hoop, I want you to focus on trying to stop the hoop. Now you can do this without actually waist hooping, okay? Because like I said, it's gonna spin a couple times around your body. So what I want you to do is, this is what it looks like. I'm not doing anything with my body. I'm just spinning that hula hoop across my body in my dominant direction, and I'm stopping it. Okay, so how you stop it is you want to feel it around your belly button. So that's the key focus here, is your belly button. So that hula hoop is going to come across and it's going to hit your belly button. As it hits your belly button, just grab it, okay? That you're going to stop the hula hoop in that direction, okay? The same goes if you spin it the other way. When that hula hoop comes across your belly button, that's where you want to grab it. So this can give you something to work on without actually being too focused on keeping that hula hoop up. All you're doing here, again, my body is not moving. I'm spinning it around and I'm stopping the hula hoop, okay? Practice this, get used to this movement, okay? Then when you're ready, try and keep that hula hoop up, okay? Make sure that your arms are clear. See how I'm exaggerating that side to side motion. Now you also want to try front to back. If this is an option, if this is more comfortable for you, go right ahead. Again, you're pushing. When that hula hoop comes across your belly button, you're pushing outward. I'm going to turn sideways for you. You're pushing out. Okay? So give yourself some time. Do not rush this. Everyone learns at their own pace, okay? So just to show you again, this is what it looks like. Now, if you're noticing, you're probably dropping that hula hoop. It's okay. Everyone drops the hula hoop, okay? So what I want you to do is, if you notice that hula hoop is falling down, stomp your foot. That is going to help position your body and your hula hoop from coming back up, okay? So if you lose it too far down your body, like if you lose it here, a stomp might help. Just try it. Because what that stomp is doing is it's bringing your torso down into the hula hoop and giving you more space to bring it back up, okay? So, you're hula hooping, you're starting to lose it, stomp, okay? Just try that, that might help. Another thing is, make sure that you're checking your stance, okay? This is side to side, this is forward to back. Now, I've heard a lot of people have really good results by doing this corner push. They're giving yourself a nice, strong sense. And it is. You then have a nice planted back foot, your front foot is planted, and you're moving. There's a lot of movement involved here. I know that when I hula hoop, it doesn't look like a lot of movement, but I've created a lot of muscle memory. You are in the very beginning stages of this. You have to teach your body how to move this way. So just be easy on yourself. Realize that the time that you have in your hula hoop is your own. And if you take a little bit of time each day and practice, you will get better at it, okay? If you're continuing to struggle, keep trying all the different options. Get a hold of me if you have any further questions, or if because we might have to go back to the drawing board and maybe get you a bigger hula hoop or something. But I know that the size hula hoop that you have is ideal, and you should be able to get this down. But don't get discouraged if you're struggling. Everyone has their own process, okay? So have a good day. I'll talk to you soon.